Hi, my name is Daphne, and today we are just looking over the well, technically the late May garden. I'm counting it for June though, just because it is the last week of May. And the weather is somewhat decent. It's 80 degrees, we have some rain in the forecast. I've already put the tomatoes and the peppers in the ground just to allow for me not to have to water. So great timing. If you do want to know when to plant your plants, the best time to do it is if there's rain in the forecast so the roots can go deep down and establish. It's wonderful. We do have a dip in temperatures coming though. It is going to literally drop to the 50s in a couple of nights, which is kind of weird because at that point we will be in June. But I digress. We're going to get some frost covers out just in case we need them. Hopefully we do not. In any case, we put all of the tomatoes and the peppers in the ground already. The herbs are doing wonderful. The blueberry plants have blueberries all over them. We are actually picking strawberries. It's beautiful this time of the year. Muggy, but beautiful. So I just want to take you guys around the garden. We also have flowers on our persimmon tree as well. Don't really know if it's going to manifest into fruit yet, but it is just a beautiful thing to actually see flowers. I've had this tree for about 3 years, I do believe. This is the first year it's actually produced flowers, so I'm thoroughly excited to see how that's going to go. I do need to stake the tree up a little bit. The branch that has some of the bigger flowers on it is starting to lean, and so I can only imagine what's going to happen if it does decide to fruit. So I'm going to get some twine and just see if I can just maybe get some 12-foot T-posts and just kind of stake it to the ground until the tree gets a little more thickness to it. But that's a project for another day. But I do want to show you guys the beautiful flowers and how the tomatoes and the peppers are faring so far in the ground. Anyway, I want to show you guys the garden because it is beautiful. So let's go. So I have put the peppers in the ground. Over here we do have two Marconi reds on either side, and then in the center we have some Sugar Rush reds. And then if we can just check out the beauty of these onions. Now these were onions that were purchased last year, I believe. I mean, some of them are a little wonky and need to probably be cut, but these were onions that were purchased last year from the grocery store. And then these onions here, these chives actually, were dug up. I actually purchased those last year, like 2 little bitty containers from the local nursery, and I was actually able to separate them and divide them into, I think, 7 garden spaces. So got my money's worth. But yeah, so these are both of our pepper beds, and then we have all cayenne peppers in this bed here, and then a very thick layer of mulch just to help keep in some of the moisture here. And then underneath all of these plants, literally I just put some eggshells. I didn't fertilize with anything else because last fall I actually buried some kitchen scraps, some decomposed kitchen scraps into these spaces. The worms were just heavy in this bed when I was planting out the peppers, so they've been fertilizing the garden spaces for the last few months. So we'll see. But I am going to purchase at some point some blood meal and some Epsom salt and just sprinkle it just to deter some of the squirrels from digging as well as the birds. And we have some slug issues as well, but you will when you have mulch. So that will deter them. I know it won't kill them, but it will deter. And just take a look to admire this beautiful garden bed here. And this Merlot lettuce, which actually is very much so ready to be harvested. And so is the Mizuna. The Paris Island lettuce is as well, but I do want it to get a little bit up some size before I do that. And then I did cover with some insect netting the blueberry plants just because the berries are actually starting to ripen, and sometimes the birds will just try to test the berries and you'll see a few that was snipped in half. So just to make sure I actually do get berries this year, I did cover it. I might loosen this up just a little bit to prevent fungal issues, but the rain should be able to go straight through the netting. But yeah, blueberry bush there. And then the bigger one here, which probably could use some nitrogen, but I'm holding off on it until the berries are actually fully developed. But I might give it some comfrey tea and probably some bone meal and some Epsom salt just to help these fully develop. But it just kind of feels nice. I mean, it's not a full, a full bucket harvest of blueberries, but at some point, when it fully establishes in this area, I'm going to actually plant that smaller one in this area and move the mint. We'll just have tons and tons of blueberry plants, fully established. And then we'll start to kind of rack them in a few years. So very happy about that. Just being able to come outside and pick some strawberries and some blueberries and raspberries and blackberries. You know, it's cute. And then here we have planted out all of our tomato plants and our peppers in the bed further over. And they need it too, because we do have a few rains coming in the next few days, and so that'll help them to fully establish. Underneath them as well were some eggshells, and I sprinkled some eggshells around them, hoping to deter some of the slugs that we've been having. But I'm gonna get some Epsom salt for that. But here's a Cherokee purple. We have some green onion blooming here, and a little bee right there fertilizing. So cute. We have another Cherokee purple here. It's kind of split. Some volunteer borage. And then here we have a Cherokee purple. Now the plants are actually, they were actually allowed to lay on their side so that they can kind of face upward, and then they were buried all along their stem. So the base actually rests around here. So they do look relatively small, but because they will be allowed to root throughout the entirety of the stem, they should shoot up fairly quickly after the rains and get on some size, and then I'll let them actually maintain their flowers. All right, so we have our volunteer borage. We have Cherokee purple, Amish paste here, and Amish paste here, and it should be an Amish paste here as well. And I am going to definitely be spraying this down with some BT, because this actually looks like worm damage here. And then over here amongst our sea of yarrow, which I'm leaving because I like the look of it, and the flowers are beautiful. Although I do kind of want to mix in some some type of zinnia here, so I might take out a few of this and actually plant like a ruby red zinnia, but we'll see. But then over here, very, very tiny, there's a hidden kale. But over here there is a San Marzano here, and here. I did trim back a lot of the oregano and the mugwort. Although I'm going to keep the mugwort here because it does look like it attracts pests that predatory wasps actually, I've seen them pick off, and I would like for them to stay in the area just to kind of attack the tomato hornworm when we get to that season. But over here, some San Marzanos. We have some spare peppercorn plants here, or peppers here. And then I think this one is Dr. Witchy's, and volunteer nasturtium here. I think this might be basil that I actually didn't plant because I need to do some starts. I tried to pre-start some basil in the house, and I should have left it in the house, and I did not do that. So this is what we have, some very, very small basil, which might actually get us some size when we get the rains. I just need to make sure that it's being watered. But this over here is actually a Abe Lincoln. So we have two Dr. Witchies in sharing this space. We have an Abe Lincoln and an Abe Lincoln here sharing this space. And then I need to just find some good homes for the orange hats. Oh, look how cute they are. They already have, I think a few of them actually already have tomatoes on them. The tiny little tomatoes. And then we do have the herb garden here, this sweet marjoram. And then we have our banana mint here, and we have our stinging nettle and our catmint, which I need to do something with this to protect it more. And then over here we have coneflower, or we do have a echinacea coming up, and it looks like it's might be flowering soon. And then we have our peppers. So this is a bell pepper here. That's a cayenne, and we're gonna also removing the flowers from here. Alright, so we're just removing some of the flowers from here, and we're gonna do this every day until the plant gets up some size, and then we'll allow for it to put on fruit. Look at this beautiful scarlet kale here. And we have another bell pepper here, a handsome comfrey, and I'm gonna take the leaves and just start to make my comfrey tea. And then just gotta keep on top of the bindweed in this bed. And then we have our golden seal, which is actually about to put on a flower head. I'm not excited. And transplanted out, did transplant out some borage, and I watered the hole before I actually put the borage in it, so I hope that actually allows for it to bounce back. We have a kale that's trying to make it in here, some chives, and I think this might be an orange zinnia that I put in here, so hopefully it makes it. And then in this bed I do want to put a winter squash, so I'll be planting the seeds for those. There is a scarlet red zinnia there. And then I do want to plant some seeds for the okra, since the okra actually did not come up, but I'm going to soak them overnight and just plant them in the morning. And then once they actually begin to sprout, I will plant out the summer squash in this bed. There is a scarlet zinnia there. A little puff ball here. And I actually want to plant a white zinnia, like a peppermint zinnia here. I don't know why I didn't start the seeds for that, but I'm gonna do that. So there'll be red zinnias and white zinnias kind of growing in this area because I think that's cute. And then red zinnias growing there, red zinnia growing there, or orange zinnia growing there. I'm gonna put some white zinnia seeds there. There's a white zinnia, well, a red zinnia there. And then in this bed, there are tomatoes. There is, this is the bed that I killed all of the tomatoes in when they were hardening off. So we have some randoms. There's a Dr. Witchy's here, which is an orange tomato. There's a Black Beauty tomato here. There is another, this is a white tombosol here. And then this is a wild card, but I couldn't just not plant it. It is so healthy. I'm gonna take the flower heads off though, but this is probably one of the healthiest tomatoes I had, so I had to plant it. And then this bed, I've actually had no luck ever planting cucumbers. We do have some asparagus coming up there. And a little borage there. And there's a zinnia planted here. I'm gonna plant another zinnia over that side, but I don't know what I'm putting here. It might just be a winter squash bed, maybe. And then here is the raspberry mess. Look at that. All of these pollinators. And then we have all of our herbs here. I planted out sun sugar cherry tomato here. Peppermint, echinacea, bee balm are both of our sages, our mullein, which only will stand the parts for this year, and then next year I'll have to find a space in the gardening area to have them. We have our tulsi, which is doing wonderful. I wish I knew they did better in pots. I would have grew them in pots last year and, you know, not been so hard on myself when they died a horrible death in the garden beds. We have a hardening of raspberry plants, which I'm going to give away next year or sell. Our chamomile, our thyme, lemon balm. Look how huge these leaves are. It's crazy, which needs to be cut down. All of our peppermints, our hyssop. And I'm actually going to do a good combination of the hyssop and the lemon balm. Really, really good for cold sores and any type of sore. I think a good combination of these two in a tea, and then maybe mix it with some banana mint, will make a really good tea. So I'm gonna test that out. I'm gonna test it out and see. But we do have some regular peppermint, which needs to be deheaded because something's munching on it. But if I can, what's this? Yeah, just dehead it and take it back to like some of the younger shoots. We have our lemongrass, rosemary, which I'm going to keep in the pot from now on. And then look at our lavender starting to flower here. Lemon balm, chocolate mint, which goes good for any tea. But I do need to cut a lot of these plants down before they start to flower. So do them just one at a time. Oh my God, this is what I'm thoroughly excited about. Like I said, I wasn't quite sure if it would ever fruit because I'm not able to put it in the ground, but it found a way. Look at her. We have flowers and we have more than enough pollinators, so hopefully we have fruit. I'm hopeful. But even if we don't this year, I'm just still happy that the tree has the ability to flower, because that just means we'll have even more success next year. And maybe I could try to tease the roots out of the ground and be even more successful with it. But I did see some more flowers. Where? Here. Look at that. There's another flower here. And probably some way up at the top. I just can't see it. The tree does need some pruning. I just haven't really. And then there's a baby persimmon. I didn't know persimmons kind of reproduce like that. It just sent off an offshoot. I thought you needed to actually plant the fruit. So learn something new every day. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that your gardens are doing well. I know that some of the gardens that I've been seeing on YouTube already have tomatoes. I hate you guys in the climates that have tomatoes already. Just playing. But I know some of you guys already have a full harvest. We actually have a bunch of blueberries expected. I'm picking strawberries. But you know, it's okay. It's Ohio. It's still early in the season. So I'm just excited, and I'm living vicariously through you guys. Just to be able to imagine in my head what we may be getting soon. I actually have some butternut squash seedlings that have actually germinated as well. So hopefully I can get a butternut squash harvest this year. I've actually only gotten one, and that was like by accident, and it was literally the second year I was gardening. So hopefully we get a butternut squash harvest as well. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a great day and happy gardening. Peace. Biscuit! This cat done found, did he find the catnip? Yeah, he did. Biscuit! I'm gonna have to enclose the space. Bad kitty. Bad kitty. Look at it. Go. Out. 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 Go. Keep going. Out. Go. Out. Keep it moving. You know better. I gave you catnip. Go. Now, close this door.